Hey guys, going to talk a bit about the second episode of Westworld called Chestnut. Full spoilers follow if you haven't seen it. All right, have you seen the second episode? Okay, let's go. By all accounts, doing interviews for this show, it sounds like most, if not all of this second episode was going to be part of the pilot initially. It was going to be one huge pilot. I actually think it really benefited from splitting it though. And I might have even liked this episode more than the pilot, which I loved. There was a lot of great things about it. I thought that it worked really well to bring in the two guys, Ben Barnes and Jimmy Simpson's characters, who much more match the movie's template of like two guys on a vacation going to Westworld in the second episode. Now that we already knew Westworld through Dolores' eyes, now let's get into it from a couple of guests' point of view. The stuff with Maeve, the madam, and everything she went through, and the memories she was having, and waking up in the middle of being worked on in the lab, and what that must have been like for her. Just how freaky it was to wake up in this horror show and have no idea what's happening. So great. But I want to focus on the Man in Black, on Ed Harris's character. Lots of speculation and talk about him. The first episode had kind of a swerve, right? Because he's dressed like Yul Brynner's character from the movie. We thought he was going to be a robot. Nope, turns out he's one of the guests. Now, I've already seen a lot of speculation that maybe he still is one of the androids, and that he's just in a weird program, or maybe he broke his programming in some way. It really seems like he's a guest. I mean, specifically, there's the scene in this episode, the second one, where we hear it said that, oh, that guest gets whatever he wants, kind of to let us know why is he allowed to kind of just go on this rampage through Westworld, that he must be paying so much money is the inference, but who knows? Maybe he's still an android. There's that line he has about, I've been coming here for 30 years. In a sense, I was born here, that I'm sure a lot of people are going to read into, saying, in a sense, maybe he literally was born there and made there. But I think it's more interesting maybe if he is a guest who's just, I don't know, gone native in a kind of crazy way. What's going on with this maze he's looking for, and the idea that he's really trying to go into the levels of the game that he sees Westworld has. Very fascinating stuff. What it all means. There was some dialogue in the premiere that they were having about what the creators of Westworld really intend this park to be, and that there's something, if not insidious, certainly a secret going on to what they really want out of this park besides making money and entertaining the guests. What I want to know is when the daughter, the little girl, sort of switched, she broke character and did not act like a real little girl anymore to tell him, the maze isn't for you. Why would she do that? Who programmed her at that point? What did he sort of trigger in her that made her do that? Does Ford and Bernard know about this? It would seem they would have to, but maybe not. Because again, there are the owners of Westworld. So this seems to be the mythology of the show really starting to build. And not just the idea of that the androids started gaining their own, consciousness and what's going to go on with that, but what's happening behind the scenes of those guys, right? So I'm really curious about that and how we can understand, what the different levels are, not just of the game, as the Man in Black wants to know, but of the programming of these androids, and when can they sort of completely drop that facade, and what is it the Man in Black is saying and doing that would make them do that, just showing them that he knows about the maze. So this is where I'm very curious about. Well, there's plenty of things curious about with this show because I'm loving it, but let us know what you think in the comments. What do you think about the Man in Black sort of path, and what does it all mean with this maze, and how do you dig in the show so far? I hope you're liking it like I am. For plenty more on Westworld, you can go to IGN.com. You can also read my full review of the episode there, and keep it here at IGN. Thanks.